What's going on? Good evening, y'all. And I've been here in a while, kind of been under the weather, but I'm here to drop another jewel on another um, credit reporting agency out there that, of course, a lot of you guys don't know nothing about. Quick disclaimer, you can find me on TikTok under Paralegal Nation. You can go to my Facebook page, Paralegal Nation. You can go to my YouTube page, Paralegal Nation as well. You can also go to my Instagram page, Mr. Armani 1985. So the report that I'm going to go over today is called Factortrust. Factortrust is another credit bureau that is again owned by the big four, which is one of them is Transunion, the other three is Innovis, Equifax, and Experian. How do you get your Factortrust report? So you can write Factortrust again, just a simple letter with your name, date of birth, address, social, previous address, driver's license number, phone number, email. You're gonna write Factortrust Inc. all one word for Factortrust space Inc. PO Box 390, Woodlyn, Pennsylvania 19094 0705. Now, a lot of people might look at this video and say, "Hey, who is Factortrust? What do Factortrust do? Why I never heard of Factortrust?" So, Factortrust is another credit bureau that is owned by Transunion. Factortrust is a consumer reporting agency. As a consumer reporting agency, we may disclose information about you only to companies that you have authorized to access your information or otherwise have a permission purpose to access this information. So pretty much, Factortrust is one of those bureaus that collect information and they get it from various sources and they just put it on a credit report or their consumer report. Factortrust does not generate a score like the other major credit bureaus, and they do fall under the umbrella of respecting your Fair Credit Reporting, the Fair Credit Reporting Act laws, meaning that you have a right to accurate credit report, you have a right to delete information, have things investigated, have things on there that should be on there, and you're governed by the federal government. So now a lot of people ask me these questions. How did Factortrust get my information? A lot of people know, why have I heard about all these different bureaus that you're posting on your social media? Why I only heard of Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, and Innovis? Why I never heard of LexisNexis? Well, a lot of you haven't heard of Factortrust neither. So this is how Factortrust get your information. They get your information from various entities that may furnish credit information to Factortrust, such as by banks, debt collectors, loan companies, and other creditors. So, for example, some might be AT&T, some might be from TransUnion, of course, because they TransUnion owns them. It can be from your bank, like for example, Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, those other places that give this information to these bureaus that you don't even know, um, that have your information. You can request your Factor Trust Inc. report by mail with the address and the information I gave you in the beginning of the video. So when you get your report, the first page is going to look like this. It's going to have your name up here and the re here. For example, it's right here. So I'm going to read it to you. It says, "Read Consumer Report Inquiry. We have received an inquiry from you seeking a copy of your credit report from Factor Trust Inc. Attached, please find a copy of your recent report. Please note that the lender may employ additional validation services along with the Factor Trust report when determining acceptance or decline of an application." And it has the phone number, you can contact them, and it has the hours. Now, on the first part of your Factor Trust consumer report, it's going to have your name, your date of birth, and your number right here. So, for example, it's going to have Factor Trust consumer disclosure credit report, report number, report date. It's going to have the subject, your name. It's going to show that you've been in the system since 2014 or whatever date that you turned 18, the last four of your social, and a partial date of birth. It has the month, you don't have the date, but it has the year. It's kind of crazy that they do that, but that's what it shows, right? Just give you a little example. Right here, it has that right here. So it has your name here, date of birth, and last four of the social right there. Now, on the next part of your report, it has your addresses to where you lived at. So right here, it's going to have all your addresses here. So what you want to do is on this report, you want to delete all addresses that do not have you want to delete addresses that you do not have access to. So for example, I just opened this report right now and it has 3 addresses. All 3 of these addresses I don't live at. So, and it also give you the company name where they get your address from. So it has the date reported, the company name, the company contact, meaning that the company they got your address from, and your address. So it has that right here. See, it has 3 here, the company name right here, the date, the company name, the company address, and your address right there. They also have your email addresses and where they got the email address from. It has it right here under email addresses. It has the date, the email address, the company, and the last 4 of your email address. It has it there. They also have your home telephone numbers. So if you have any home telephone numbers, it's going to show, like it says, home telephone numbers right there. It has where they get it from, the company contact, and the last 4 digits of your home telephone number. And then it has your mobile telephone numbers that you used in the past. For example, mobile telephone numbers right there. So it has the date that is reported, where they get it from, their contact information, and the telephone number. Then it has right here your driver's license. Right here, if you have a driver license, it's going to have your driver license information on this report as well. And then it's going to have your employees. So whoever you worked for, if you've been self-employed or if you work for a company, it says employees. It has the date they reported, the company that they got that from, their contact information, your employee, and how much money you make and how do you get paid. It has that all on your report. It has it right here under employees. All this information right there. So your employees on there as well. Remember, you want to delete things that are inaccurate, and if you don't have access to the employers, go ahead and delete off your report by just writing a simple letter. Now it also has alerts right here. As you can see, it says alerts if you have any freezes or if you've been victimized by identity theft or any type of alerts such as like identity theft, or if you have alerts to opt in or opt out of pre-screen, it's going to have it right there, or any type of security freezes. It's going to have that right there as well. Now the next page, which is right here, it's going to have consumer statements, like if you've been victimized by identity theft, or if you want to put a statement on your credit report, it's going to have that there. It's also going to have the opt-out, which is right there if you opted out or opted in pre-screening to get a bunch of credit card offers. It's going to have trades. It's going to also have bank accounts. So if you have any bank accounts or trades, it's going to have that information right here. So if you have bank accounts in the past or right now, it's going to list those bank accounts right there. It's also going to show payments to those bank accounts. As you can see right here, it says payments, good or bad. So if you're in good standing or bad standing, it's going to show that on your Factortrust credit report. Also, it's going to have your inquiries initiated by consumer action right here. Inquiries right here. Right there. So let me read you the paragraph what it says. It says inquiries initiated by consumer action. Inquiries initiated by consumer action refers to inquiries resulting from a transaction initiated by you. These include applying for a credit card or completing an application at a financial institution, like if you go to Bank of America, Chase, or Wells Fargo. Please note that these inquiries are part of your credit history and may be included in our reports to others, meaning that they're going to share that information that you apply for these credit cards at your institutions to other people that can house your information. So you wonder why, how these people get my information? Well, they share credit card applications, approved or denied, to different bureaus such as Factortrust. Promotional inquiries. It's going to have your promotional inquiries right here. So promotional inquiries is like credit line increases from your existing credit cards. So let's read over the definition of promotional inquiries. Promotional inquiries is the companies listed receive your name, address, and other limited information about you so they could make a firm offer of credit or insurance, like if you apply for insurance through Geico or Allstate or any of those places. They did not receive your full credit report. These inquiries are not seen by anyone but you and do not affect your score. So it has right here the inquiries, promotional inquiries right here. As you can see, I got 2 promotional inquiries on my report. So promotional inquiries right there on my report. Then it says account review inquiries. So basically, account review inquiries is basically if you have a bank account or if you have a certain bank, they're going to review your account. So let's go over what account review inquiries means. The listing of a company inquiry in this section means that they obtain information from your credit file in connection with a account review or other business transactions with you. These inquiries are not seen by anyone but you and would not be used in scoring your credit file, except insurance companies may have access to other insurance companies' inquiries. Certain collection companies may have access to other collection companies' inquiries, and users of a report for employment purposes may have access to other employment inquiries. So right here it has a list of inquiries right here, but these are considered soft inquiries, not hard ones. All right, so let's go to the last page. You have more soft inquiries that was on my report right here. So it has on here, it has the date, the last four digits, the company, and their mailing address. Now, the last thing it's going to have is notices. Basically, what it says notices as it says you have a right to dispute any item or information contained in your consumer file. If you believe information in your file may be inaccurate or incomplete, please submit your dispute online, and they give you the address there, or you can write on. I like to write, or we can do online as well. Under normal circumstances, Factortrust will inform you of the result of the investigation within approximately 30 days. Why 30 days? Because under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, you have the right to have accurate information and have 30 days to investigate the inaccurate information that's on your report. So again, delete old addresses, phone numbers, email address, jobs, how you get paid, hard inquiries, soft inquiries that you don't want in your factor trust reports, to shrink it to make it look really good. Once you do that, then you want to write them another letter and then freeze it so they won't sell your information to other people. It's just a little side note. It then has the contact information right here. Factor Trust, PO Box, that address and a phone number right there. All right. What else is on this report? What else? So it talks about the remedies of identity theft. As you can see, it talks about that. If you ever been victimized by identity theft, and the addresses to the other three credit bureaus. It also have the right here. It says consumers have the right to obtain a security freeze. If you want to freeze your report, talks about it right here. You have the right to freeze it. So delete everything, make sure everything's accurate, and then freeze it because you don't want your new information sold to other people. If you're a California Bill of Rights, basically your California rights, like for example, I'm a California resident, so I qualify for these Bill of Rights. Basically, it's the same thing as the Fair Credit Reporting Act, but it's just the California version of it. That's on that. Also has a general summary of the rights under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Why do you have these rights? Because this is a credit bureau, even though it's not the big three that is mentioned, it's still a credit bureau that collects information, so you still have the rights to have accurate information and have things investigated and deleted within 30 days. So you have that. So it's a 2-page. So first page, second page, and then it has the government addresses to all these other government entities and their contact information. So let's go over some of these. You got Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the Federal Trade Commission, Office of the Controller of the Currency Customer Assistance Group, Federal Reserve Consumer Help Center, Division of the Depository and Consumer Protection, National Center for Consumer and Depository Assistance, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, National Credit Union Administration, Office of the Consumer Financial Protection, Assistant General Counsel of the Office of the Aviation Protection, Department of Transportation, Office of the Public Assistance, Government Affairs and Compliance Surface Transportation Board. Then has the nearest Packers and Stockyards Division Regional Offices, Associate Administration, Office of the Capital Access, United States Small Business Administration, Securities and Exchange Commission, Farm Credit Administration, and Federal Trade Commission. Have all the addresses to these right here. So just in case they try to violate your Fair Credit Reporting Act or your California Bill of Rights, you can write these agencies right here, and it's pretty much like their big brother. So pretty much that's about it on your Factor Trust credit report. I will give information about this and post it on all my social media pages. I'm going to post more reports as I get them. It's over 500, so stay tuned, like and subscribe, and I will be posting content like this if I can every day. If not, when I get more reports. You guys have a nice night and continue educating yourself on your credit.